that Bonneville racer as well. We've got so it's performance stuff. It's just gorgeous stuff. We're working with people around one to for to attract to make something super and attractive and maybe even performance oriented. But the other is also to engage with these people, this ecosystem of amazing people who are doing things um, like customization, so that next time a customer comes in, they'll be like, look, we can do a stellar job on a Royal Enfield, right? And then they'll sort of customize that, and that builds more personalization options. We can't do everything ourselves. We customize that, and that builds more personalization options. We can't do everything ourselves. We can make a custom look motorcycle, but we can't customize a motorcycle ourselves for our customers' needs. We do, well, yeah, so say that we do lovely, some of our big rides, we do Himalayan Odyssey, we do, and some of our big events like Ridermania. But we're doing tens of thousands of rides now. It's not few rides. Our dealerships are doing tens of rides a year, 20 rides a year. They're doing short rides, longer rides. Then we've the year of 20 rides a year. They're doing short rides, longer rides. Then we're working with our communities, and they're doing lots of their own stuff. They're doing events themselves. So we're creating this absolutely vibrant, thriving brand, which has got a critical mass. We've got 3.5 million Royal Enfield riders out there, maybe more, I don't know. And it's a brand that's created out of pull. These are people who want to be part of Royal Enfield. We're not out there pushing and trying to get more numbers. We're not that kind of company. So we've created something which through a very long-term approach. We've said, look, we want to accomplish this, and that's where we go back to that. We want to accomplish this, and step by step, we've been putting things into place in order to accomplish our long-term aim of creating an absolutely beautiful brand. And now we really feel we have the abilities, the credentials, not credentials on them, but the understanding of how to take this globally. And we're going to do it patiently as well. We're not going to rush in and do that. We've got one store in Sao Paulo. Okay, now we're going to add a second one. We had one store in Bangkok. Again, to learn, again, to understand, again, to eat, breathe, sleep that place. We've got lots of our team members now in there, and really senior people now in international markets. Again, to just understand. And once we do that, then we start increasing. And the pull has started. Dealers across Thailand, for example, are starting to come and say, look, we want to be part of Royal Enfield family. It's not like we are going and knocking on their doors. Since the launch of these motorcycles and since the price in the US and UK and Europe, we have dealers now where it was always a bit tougher to get dealers in, the best dealer in the biggest city in Europe. But they're coming to us now. So, that's the story of Royal Enfield.
And really, Siddharth, what you've given us is a flavor of not just the width of what we've done, which is sometimes visible, our sales numbers, our distribution expansion, but also, hopefully, you've got a glimpse of the depth that we focused on, some aspects that you don't necessarily see on top of the iceberg, but really the depth that we've been trying to build over a period of time. And I'll go back again to the words that you've written, or the words that still, and I find this statement particularly inspiring. We will put the world under the spell of a new order of motorcycling from a brand that continues to transcend time. And I do believe, again, this is again from the same era of 2005. It might have been in your mind earlier, but you wrote it in 2005 in that coffee table book that I talked about. I do believe that if I reflect on the width and depth that you've talked about, we've sold 3.5 million odd motorcycles in this period, maybe actually a bit more. We've expanded distribution, we've gone global, we've got a demand, we've got dealers who are coming into us, we've created an ecosystem. But what it has done is, I think the statement absolutely is relevant in 2018 as well. If I were to just remove that year and put 2018 and onwards, it's, in my view, absolutely relevant. Because I would probably change just one word there. I would say it continues to transcend time and geographies globally. Because what we've done is we've created, the UCE platform might have sold 3.5 million motorcycles. What it's done strategically for us is built a platform for us, not just in India. In India, we will be able to build scale of the number of people who've either bought Royal Enfield or are current owners of Royal Enfield, who can now move. We can retrain them for longer because we've got the twins now. So we've got a huge headroom now, not just to recruit people, which is going to be our bread, butter, jam, marmalade, but it's also to retain people for longer. Of course, internationally, it opens up the middleweight segment, and we are very, very interestingly poised to actually expand the segment in India and internationally.
Yeah, and that's absolutely our aim on the back of our home market. And the home market's always going to be the big market. That's the one we're going to serve first. But on the back of the India market, where we get scale on these twins, we're going to be able to get the right abilities to be able to grow the market in markets in places around the world where the mid-sized market is not existent. People are, for at least for motorcycles like this, it's very small and it's underdeveloped. And really and when we started this project, when we started thinking about the Interceptor and the Continental GT, we said we must do a single specification for the entire world. That was also a very core fundamental idea that we had, a single specification. And one of the reasons, by the way, is that, and why we have the same rolling chassis here, is that we test one rolling chassis. That helps us so much. All the millions of kilometers that we've done is on one specification. There's no different tires, there's no different suspension, there's no different anything in any market. So otherwise you have to split your testing, right? And you can't test everything 1.5 million kilometers. So that's the kind of reason why we did this. And I think the results are there. And you can see what people have said about it.
Absolutely. These are just some of the comments that we've already received, and that delights us no end. But we're also humbly not surprised because of the depth that we've built. We know that we will keep improving constantly. And I think some of the response that we've already received been extremely delightful. Really, that gives us the confidence that we can expand the middleweight motorcycle market even further. We were expanding it, if you like, at the entry level at the 350 cc.
Yeah.
But now we are moving to the top end of the middleweight in some ways with this, which will open up the market. We are going to expand it in India. We're going to expand it in the rest of the world.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm a bit overwhelmed by the response, but I really do think we've nailed it this time. I really think we've got outstanding products, and this is not for everybody, mind you. Some people want something entirely different, a lot more tech, a lot more gizmo, a lot more fairings, all of that. That's not us, a lot modern product. That's not us. They want, different wheels, all of that. But for the people who like this kind of product, I think we've absolutely nailed it.
And I'll say one more thing. I think you absolutely said the right thing. We've got a single spec global product, but we have two very special personalities under that product, special brands, which are very, very different personalities. I have a favorite, I'm sure you will, and you do too, but that's the beauty of this platform. It allows self-expression, discovery of the self, and move towards one of the two, sometimes maybe both. I'm also confused which one I'm actually now more in love with. But that's the beauty of the fact that this platform has allowed us to create two very distinct personalities and character. And in fact, let me segue that into requesting Samrat to run the two very different films.
Sun shines on and the wind is cold. Yeah, it's calling me. And baby, just give in. It's time to keep it flowing, breezy, flowing, easy, calling, and I'm feeling like a drink, like a drink. It's time to keep it slow and breezy, flowing easy, going, and I'm feeling, I'm feeling like a dream,
These people clearly didn't get the memo on protective clothing somehow.
But I clearly, like we were saying, Siddharth, that these motorcycles have such different personalities. I'm really struggling right now to figure out which one should I buy. And speaking of buy, um, maybe you can help me understand that a bit and your thought process, because people have been conjecturing from EICMA, even before EICMA,
Yeah.
on what should be the pricing, and of course benchmarking it with a lot of motorcycles that are already there.
Yeah, I mean,
But maybe you can help me with my decision, because I'm.
so these are just some of the comments we've pulled out from last year when we first revealed these motorcycles, and you guys know the state of Indian, like, let's say bigger motorcycles like 500cc up. They're really expensive. They're really sort of 5, 6, 10 lakhs. But it's not just expensive. They're expensive to run. Fuel, spare parts not available, no dealers. I mean, that's one of the reasons no one's buying these big bikes. I mean, and they really take an arm and a leg. And so therefore everyone was like, guys, we want, these are real, comments. Under 4 lakhs, says this guy, wishful. Under 4 lakhs would be aggressive, yeah. And, and 4.8 lakhs for the cafe racer after this, so we have, well, this guy said 5 lakhs up there.
5 to 6
Venkatesh,
lakhs,
I'm gonna catch Venkatesh and I think he's gonna.
There's a
Yep.
guy up there with 5 to 6 lakhs.
Yeah, so that's the state of Indian motorcycling. That's what people expect. It's changed a little bit, these comments in the last few weeks, because all you guys are spreading some rumors, and then there was some online stuff going on earlier today with some leaks, which were, I think don't believe anything they say, right? Because you know how it is in the internet.
But Siddharth, maybe that's
could be a
also,
stop at the end.
that's also
typing.
why the total market, I won't get my number very wrong, in India for the twins, or all twins put together, is not more than 5,000 a year. It's hardly anything.
Yeah, for all multi-cylinders,
and
maybe
that-
15,000, I don't know.
Maybe 15,000,
Yeah,
but-
all multi-cylinders, all motorcycles above 500cc, anyone a guess? We want to make that 10x, we want to make that 20x, we want to make that 50x. Like we did for the 350s, right? I mean, there was no market for above 250cc motorcycles in India when, other than Royal Enfield, and we're still over 90% of that market.
Yeah.
So we want to do that. We want to do exactly that, and we want to make these guys happy. We want to make sure that all these guys, all our customers, and a lot of these our customers, that's what they've said, around 4.5 lakhs. Right, about 4.2 lakhs. Okay.
Will you help me make my decision? And because that's what I think a lot of people want to.
So we're going to have a pricing. We're going to have a pricing that is going to be absolutely bloody cracking, right? It's going to be one that absolutely opens out the Indian motorcycle market above 500cc. It's going to change forever. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you the price of firstly our top models, the chrome models. The price of our chrome models is 5,55,000 only. Thank you. Chaps, Shaji, you're going to sell a few? Yeah.
Something has changed between the last time we spoke, and that was not very far back. Has the social media made you think differently, or is the positive response? I mean, I'm a little confused right now because I'm.
Well, I hope positively confused. Are you,
Shaji, I hope you.
Are you positively surprised?
I think it's a good price, but Shaji, where's Shaji? There he is. I hope he's not getting a cardiac arrest, but I think we've discussed a slightly different number because
no, but
it's a good price, but I'm confused right now.
Well, the thing is, Rudy, that I was just thinking that, there's margin pressures these days.
Yeah.
And no, but there is. Guys, steel prices are going up.
Yeah, I know that.
There's margin pressure. So we have to we have to make a bit of profit as well, buddy. You're not just a sales guy, you're a business guy.
I totally understand that. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah.
But this.
And we've got great reviews. The bike is lovely, right, guys? The bike is good, right? You love the bike. So yeah, so surely people are willing to pay a bit for it.
Guys,
but this is for the top models, right? This is for the top models.
1 second. Did you say models? Is that?
Yeah.
Is there a?
Yeah, for the top models, the chrome models.
Hang on. Models. Chrome models.
Yeah, sure.
Can you tell us a little
Next
bit
slide.
more?
Next slide.
So together, these bikes will cost you, the chrome models will together cost you 5,55,000 ex-showroom if you buy two of them. If you buy them individually, they're going to cost you 285 for the Continental GT Chrome and 270 for the Interceptor Chrome. Is that all right? Yeah, Chrome guys, ex-showroom, right?
Ex-showroom, and
yeah.
we've tried to normalize the ex-showroom price across the country. We have situations where the duties are higher in a few states.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So next, we have the custom models. These are absolutely gorgeous custom models. The Continental GT custom models will be for 272,500. Is that right? Yeah. And the Interceptor 650 for 257,500. So that's a custom model. These gorgeous dual color custom models like this one here is going to cost you 272,500 ex showroom.
There is more.
Well, of course, there's the. I mean, they call it the standard, but standard. We didn't have a better name. I think it's a monogram model. The Orange Crush, it absolutely crushes me. Honestly, that's my favorite motorcycle. Maybe the Chrome. But the Orange Crush for me absolutely does
Can you
it.
tell us the price for that? Yeah.
Yep. We move on. The standard, but not standard. These are gorgeous. The standard models, 265,000. 265,000 for the Continental GT and 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, 250,000 for this gorgeous Orange Crush and some of its siblings, the Interceptor INT 650. And that's not it. All of these come with a 3-year warranty, 40,000 kilometers in India. All of them come with 3-year roadside assistance, which is bundled into all of this price. And we are so ready. We are so ready. All the work we've done on the service side, we're absolutely ready. As we speak right now, how many people do we have out there in stores? What is it? 120 stores. I thought
the stores.
Sorry.
People 7,500 who've been trained.
Yeah. We've trained up a huge number of people. All our dealers, enough service people, not all the service guys, because all of them don't need to service this.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people trained. They've come to Chennai. They've worked with us for days on end. We've gone there. It's all been done. The parts are available. Everything is sorted.
And what's very interesting is, as we speak right now, we've got live stream across our dealerships, and 120 dealerships have motorcycles available. Bookings
today.
Yeah, and they have display bikes, test ride bikes. We will start selling and accepting bookings from tomorrow. We will do test rides across the first 120 dealers immediately, and we will then cascade it across the country.
So we got bikes shipping out as we speak. We got bikes on the roads, going to stores around the country. People are going to be able to get test rides in a week. They're going to be able to see the bikes tomorrow in a lot of stores. That's how we're rolling. We're just getting the bikes out there. We want people to ride them. And
Speaking of test rides, at Rider Mania, we'll have 8,500 of our community coming in just starting tomorrow. Some of them have already arrived. And they will be the first to test ride from a community point of view at Rider Mania itself. So we're trying to make sure that most people get to get a taste of the twins in Rider Mania itself. So that's also happening. And there's live dealer launches happening right now in 120 stores.
But again, I just want to tell you a little bit about how we think as a company and what type of company we are and what type of company we become and how we look at these things. Our absolute aim was to make these motorcycles accessible, right? And of course, I mean, you guys know, I mean, these guys, oh well, the prices have gone now, but these prices are certainly accessible. But we've looked at on-road prices as well. We always look at on-road prices. And we have some states where the on-road prices are going above 3 lakhs. And you know, okay, fine. That's, you know, luck of the draw for some states. They're richer states, maybe like Kerala or Karnataka or whatever it is. But what we've done is, in fact, for those states, we've even further reduced the ex-showroom price to around 2.33 or something in that order. Yeah. 2.33 lakhs in Karnataka, in Kerala, just to make sure that the on-road price is below 3 lakhs. We want it to be accessible for people, yeah?
And this is really important because we are about expanding the segment. We want to make sure that this entire gamut of people, Royal Enfield owners, and there are many who are not Royal Enfield owners but waiting to enter Royal Enfield, have an opportunity to experience what we are experiencing, what you've experienced today. And that's the reason why we've said, listen, there's something we will do, make it accessible. We've got something beautiful here, but it has to be accessible as well.
But that's not it. We got more for you guys. The twist in the tail. Isn't this good enough? But we got more, really. We said this is one motorcycle for every market in the world, right? The single motorcycle, single specification for every single market in the world. But guess what? We've saved something for India. We got you guys something even more. So the one thing that changes, and we've done that for India especially, okay? And this is the big one, guys. This is the big one. Everyone out there, cyber world, this is the big one. India gets something more than everybody else in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sari Guard. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's our bikes. That's our Sari Guard. That's the twins. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.